When you begin practicing with Flourish, there's something that I would like you to pay attention to, which is that visualizations are not just made of visuals, graphs, maps, charts, etc. Words matter. There's a reason why I said at the beginning of the course that I see at least 3 different components in any visualization: the framework, the content, the encodings, but then the annotations that we put in the graphic itself. And this includes headlines, introductions, a little pointers inside the charts or call-out boxes and things like that. Those elements are really relevant in any data visualization that is intended to be shown or to educate the general public. So please pay attention to those things. Don't just, for example, when you design your projects in Flourish or any other software tool, don't just put a random title on the chart. Put a title in there that really tells you what it is that you are about to see. So pay a lot of attention to the writing. To give you some inspiration, I would like to show you several projects that I believe do a great job at combining words and visuals and making those words and visuals play together well, interplay quite well. So in all these projects, words and visuals are perfectly integrated. They feed into each other, they strengthen each other. The first project that I would like to show you comes from the Tampa Bay Times. The Tampa Bay Times is a newspaper here in Florida, in the Tampa Bay area. A while ago, the Tampa Bay Times won a Pulitzer Prize thanks to a project called Failure Factories. And what I'm showing you right now is the introduction to that project that won the Pulitzer Prize in 2015. The title says, "Why Pinellas County is the worst place in Florida to be black and go to public school." What the project is basically is a data exploration that shows that Pinellas County in the past few years has become, the schools in this county have become increasingly segregated, more and more racially segregated in the past few years. And in parallel to that process, certain schools in this county have also become worse. Students have started performing worse and worse and worse, and those two lines go in parallel. Now, all the data for this project could be shown at once. I could show you everything at once in there with no annotations whatsoever. But what the designers of this project decided to do was to chunk the information and help you navigate the information little by little. So they don't show you everything at once. They show you a little bit of data on each step of the project, and then they pair the data that is being shown visually through the charts and maps with text that puts the data in context and points out what it is that you need to care about from that data. Hey, pay attention at this feature. Hey, take a look at this. Hey, this is what really matters. That's the role of text in our visualizations. I'm going to just show you the first step of this project. So why Pinellas County is the worst place in Florida to be black and go to public school? And you have the byline there. Click or press continue. So the project begins by saying 84% of black elementary school students in Pinellas are failing state exams. And they highlight Pinellas County on the map. Then you continue and they give a little bit more of information, another nugget of information. Almost every other county does better. So now they compare Pinellas County to all other counties in Florida, right? Then you can continue. It says, only 7 of Florida's 67 counties do worse. All are poor on rural places. And they highlight on the map all those 7 places. This kind of chunking of information, this kind of narrative structure can really help people, I believe, understand complex data sets a little bit better. And as you can see, copy, text plays a key role in data visualization for communication. Another project that I would like to show you to illustrate this importance of pairing text and visuals comes from the New York Times. The opinion pages of the New York Times, believe it or not, perhaps you're not aware of this, but the New York Times has one of the best graphics departments in the world that create charts and maps for the newspaper itself. But recently, they also hired 1 or 2 designers, I believe, to create charts and maps for the opinion pages. So right now, some of the columnists who write for the opinion pages in the New York Times can illustrate their columns with charts and graphs designed by these people. One of my favorite ones in the past few years is this opinion page titled "Our Broken Economy in One Simple Chart," which is basically a column that explains the growing inequality in the United States in terms of income and in terms of wealth. And the chart that begins the column basically tells you the entire story. The x-axis is the income percentile, people in different income percentiles in the population, very poor people versus very rich people over here. And then the method of encoding over here is position. Each one of these dots represents the income growth of people on each one of these percentiles of the population over the previous 34 years. So the further down a dot is, the smaller the gains that people in this percentile made in the past 34 years, and the higher up a dot is on the chart represents a larger amount of income increasing in the past 34 years. So basically the people who have gained the most in terms of income in 2014 are the people who are already high up on the income ladder. The pattern was completely different in the 80s. In the 80s, people who gained the most in terms of wealth and income per year were the people who were down on the income ladder. And very rich people also made gains, their income also, their wealth. I don't remember if this is wealth or income. This is actually income growth, not wealth. All right, so the people who observed the lower growth income in terms of percent change are the rich people. So the patterns, the lines basically cross each other. And then the story continues. So we have the column itself, it describes the pattern in the data. And then you can see that the designers inserted other charts that provide more detail and that are related to the content of the column itself. So when you read it, you will notice that the paragraphs of text and the charts basically speak to each other quite well. They are perfectly integrated, seamlessly integrated. I believe that this is what you should try to accomplish, to think not only about the visuals, but also think about the text that you can write about the visuals that you're presenting to people. One final example to talk about the importance of text is this data-driven project by the Washington Post, which also has an excellent graphics department. So the story is titled "Virginia's Uneven Recovery Mirrors Its Growing Political Divide." They're basically telling you that the more Virginia's economy grew, more unequal, right, also the political divide has increased. And they prove that point, they corroborate that point through different charts and different maps. I'm not going to go into detail of this project. I would just encourage you to navigate it, because again, I think that it's a great example of how text and visuals can speak to each other and can interact with each other in a wonderful data project like this. This data map, for example, is something that you will learn how to do this week thanks to Flourish. I stopped on this map in particular because this week the practical videos deal with how to use Flourish for data visualization, and Flourish will let you design both this kind of data map and also different kinds of graphs and charts, scatter plots, line charts, bar graphs, etc. So I would encourage you to take a look at the practical videos this week. Don't forget to take a look at the readings. Try to participate in the discussion forums, complete the exercise this week, and then post it in the forums for other people to comment on, and also try to comment on other people's exercises, providing constructive feedback. Congratulations on completing week 3. We are ready to move to week 4, which is, I believe, the most exciting week of all, because it's the opportunity to create your own personal project.